What up, donkeys? Jack Haze here with JackAce.com, and we are here with lesson number 4 on my series of how to solve the Rubik's Cube in the fastest, easiest way. And when I say the fastest way, I mean the time it takes you to start learning how to solve it to the time you are able to solve it will be the fastest. This is not a method you use for speed cubing. It's just a method for learning, getting yourself familiar with the cube to the point where you can solve it and impress your friends. I can solve a cube in about 75 seconds on average, I'd say. Not the most impressive time when people like Max Park can solve it in under 4 seconds. Yes! But impressive enough where you could do it in front of a group of your friends and most of them would be pretty impressed. So a quick summary about the previous lessons. Lesson 1 was solving the top face, the white face. Lesson 2 was solving the T's connected to that white face. Lesson 3 was solving the yellow X under the white face. And this is where we left off. After today's lesson, you'll be able to get to this phase, which not only includes this bottom X, but all the connected corners as well. So in essence, you'll have the top side solved, the white face, and then the other 5 sides will all have X's as well. So hopefully you've done your homework so far and you're able to get to this phase without any problems. Now, one thing I haven't gone over so far are the move notations when you look at a cube. In lesson 3 and in this lesson, lesson 4, you need to understand the move notations on how to rotate your cube. Let's go over them really quick. This is R, you turn the right face clockwise, and then this is R prime, you move the right face counterclockwise. This is L, you move the left face clockwise, and then this is L prime, move the left face counterclockwise. This is F, you move the front face clockwise, and this is F prime, move the front face counterclockwise. And then this is B, move the back face clockwise, and B prime, move the back face counterclockwise. And last 2 moves, U, move the upper face clockwise, U prime, move the upper face counterclockwise, D, move the downward face clockwise, and D prime, move the downward face counterclockwise. If you want to know the move notations, watch my other video. It's just a real quick 90-second video, and it shows you all 12 moves that you can make. So before we start today's lesson, you need to get your cube in this state. Previously, we were in this state, so where we have the top side, the white side solved, the T's connected on the other 4 sides, and on the bottom, we have the yellow X. For today's lesson, we're going to add the pieces that we need to continue the X's on the other 4 faces. So the red side should look like this, blue side should look like this, orange side should look like this, green side should look like this, yellow side is still just the X, white side is still solved. Go ahead and get your cube in this state and we'll start with the next lesson. So now that you're able to get your cube in this formation, you're going to be in one of 3 different results. As you look at the connected corners, you're either going to have 0 corners matching, or you're going to have 2 corners matching, or you're going to have all 4 corners matching. In this case, you can see that we have the orange side solved with these X's. Half of the blue side is solved, half of the green side is solved. Basically, we need to swap these 2 pieces. And in this scenario, what we do is we put the orange face on top, yellow face on the right, solved white face on the left, and we perform the maneuver that we learned in the last lesson. So that's the upper face counterclockwise, right face clockwise, upper face clockwise, front face counterclockwise, upper face clockwise, front face clockwise, and then upper face counterclockwise. And now you can see we have 1 piece solved on the bottom. It seems like we've messed things up, but now we're going to learn a new move. I'm going to do this really slowly. We're going to put the single solved piece in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to do U prime, R prime, R prime, U, R, U prime, R, and U. And now, if we match up the corners, you can see all 4 corners are solved. But you do have to memorize this new move. In addition to the previous move that we learned in the last lesson, this is the new move. Okay, I'm going to do it again, but we're going to do this in a solved state, so it's going to mess the cube up. So we do U prime, R prime, R prime, U, R, U prime, R, U, and then RR. And just like with the first maneuver, you can do this over and over again. It keeps the upper right-hand corner in place and it flips the other 3 corners around. So in the opposite direction of the last maneuver we learned. I'm going to do this 3 times real quick. So U prime, R, R, U, R, U prime, R, U, R, R. Back to this corner being solved. And we can do it again. U prime, R, R, U, R, U prime, R, U, R, R. We were using our knuckle and the 3 fingers to see which colors would be moved to the top. It's actually on the other corners now. But we start with the solved piece in the upper right-hand corner, and let's do it one more time. U prime, R prime, R prime, U, R, U prime, R, U, R, R. So you have to memorize this maneuver to get this cube in this solved state. So here is a scenario where none of the faces have more than 1 color solved. Here we have the blue is solved, the orange is solved, the green is solved, and the red is solved, but we don't have 2 greens or 2 oranges or 2 blues or 2 reds. We just have 1 of each. So in this scenario, you use maneuver number 1. Do that real quick. And then we move this to the upper right-hand corner and do maneuver number 2. And now you can see we have one side that has 2 corners solved and the other 2 need to be scrambled. Put the 2 matching corners on top, do maneuver number 1. And then do maneuver number 2 with this yellow in the upper right-hand corner. And now you'll see that all corners are solved. So that's the big thing with this lesson. Once you get the cube in this state with the yellow X on the bottom, you don't know how the other corners are going to match up. It's either going to be all 4 are already solved, or it's going to be 2 are solved on one side, or it's going to be that only 1 corner on each side is solved. When only 1 corner is solved, do maneuver 1 and then maneuver 2. That should get you into a state where 2 of the corners on one face will be matching. Put that on top and then do maneuver number 1, maneuver number 2, and you should be in this state where every corner is solved. You'll have X's on all the non-white faces. And that's how we're going to finish today's lesson. For homework, you should be able to get to this state very easily. You should memorize maneuver number 2, and you should know when to use maneuver number 1 and maneuver number 2 to get to this state. I do want to emphasize this is not a method of solving a cube that is very common. Most methods that I've seen, you start from the top, you move to the middle layer, you make a cross on the bottom, and then you do the corners last. We're doing the corners first, we're going to do top layer, we're going to do the bottom face, and then we're going to do the center band. So again, you should be able to get to this state very easily. Let me know how you're doing. If you have any questions or comments about the methods I'm using to teach you, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, remember to like and subscribe. Always gamble responsibly, and peace out, donkeys.